everyone. Today is Monday, November the 24th of 2025. And welcome to, well, I guess similar to Ask a Medium. Nice to see everybody here live in the house so far. And just waiting for a few more people to attend. Look, I see I already have 27 likes. So, hey, that's how I like it. I like it really optimistic. I've got something going on with my chat over here. So I've already got another window opened up over here so I can see everybody's chat. Thanks for the 5x5. Melanie chiming in from Canada. Where is everybody else chiming in from? If you don't mind saying. Yeah. Let's go. Oh, we're getting some love from Australia. Yeah. This is my little reminder to tell me to go live. So I'm just going to turn that off now so that it doesn't. Actually, no, probably not a good idea because that's how Spencer would reach me if it's an emergency of some kind. Something stops working for some reason. Yeah. So I've got my tea here. It's one of those ones where you fill up the loose leaf and it smells wonderful. It smells like I've baked something, but I haven't. All right. Oh, we've got a few people from Australia. Nice to see you guys. I'm feeling better. Thank you so much for asking. I thought I was really going to be headed down a rough road, but it turned out that I didn't get it as bad as my spouse. Man, he was down for the count. Oh, we got someone in from BC, Canada. Just waiting for a few more people to arrive, guys. We're not even 2 minutes into it, so I just like to wait a few minutes before we get started. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. I haven't been coughing all day. I don't want to start now. Excuse me. Sneezing, coughing. What is going on here? Not even having a chance to mute anything. What silliness. It's so typical, isn't it? It's like it's typical Sam. Things start falling apart. The wheels come off the cart just as soon as I'm going live. But yes, for those who don't know, I've had a pretty bad flu. Just for a couple of days, though. Nothing too bad. I had to change my schedule for this because, man, I was not in any condition yesterday to be doing live streams of any kind. Nice to see you from Spain. And yes, I'm definitely feeling better, but you guys are going to have to put up with my, as you can see now, I have runny eyes and I'm not crying. I'm just trying not to run my makeup, actually. But you know how it is when you start sneezing and coughing. At the same time, I swear I was fine. I was fine before I started. Anyways, I'm actually going to mute myself for a second because I don't want you guys to listen to me blow my nose. I'm going to mute myself. You know how it is when you can't breathe. So now I can breathe. All right. I need to calm down. I was like, there's no way I can't not do a live stream. I mean, the market's starting to turn around. I was a little bit further off this time on the turnaround. Starting to head up again than I was before. It took like a month longer, I think. I'd have to look back. The last time was October of 2020. And funny enough, I was pretty sure that was going to start around September. But then by the time October rolled around, I was like, yeah, definitely. And that was in 2020. And you know what happened, right? Yeah. So this thing is, though, I think that it's a monster that will keep going, though. Because, at one point you don't hit sort of the development walls. But, a lot of it is liquidity. Of course, I'm talking about cryptos. Yeah, and I don't really think it's a bear market because, I mean, it's just a pullback. Yeah. Yeah, and the backside of the wave. I mean, at least I got that 85,000, the check mark. Talk about being off on timing. I thought that was in the longer term. I didn't think we'd be hitting it now, but we did. So, hey, that means it can go even further, right? Yeah. Yeah, I have an open mind about Bitcoin for sure. I mean, it's not one of my faves for the long term. I mean, you guys know how I feel about that, but still, you know, I don't think people should stop from owning whatever they want to own. And whether you choose Bitcoin or chose Ethereum, I mean, you've done well with both. Some people got into ETH at when it was $10 and other people at 100. So, you know, nobody's feeling sorry for them either. Everybody's done really well. But yeah, this has been a rough one. So nice to see that you guys are hanging in there. I'm not worried at all. I'm just here with my cup of tea. No problem. Just waiting. Just waiting. You know, the 100 trillion, that number came up more recently, the last couple of years. But isn't it interesting how it seems that took a lot of trial, to get for us to get to the 5 trillion, because we thought we were getting there when we hit the 4.4. But upon counting the number of times that we went past the 4.1, it was only 4 times, not 5. And I'm going to credit Creative Reaction with being the one who pulled out from the blab, as far as I can tell. She mentioned that most times you'd have to go past your critical resistance 7 times. And I blabbed that I felt like it was going to be 5 times past the 4.1, and then we'd run to 5. And so, of course, I miscounted and thought we were past the 5th time when we started running to the 4.4 because we moved so quickly. And then when it started going back, I was like, but then it was probably just within a couple of days that people reported, no, you miscounted. It was 4 times that we were past that. And I was like, okay, so it's still in play then. So yeah, that's still in play. Going past the 4.1 that 5th time. And then it goes to 5 trillion. And then it doesn't seem to be, it's not like, oh, we struggle for a bit to get to 6 or 7. It just seems to be there's 5 and then there's 8. So, I mean, maybe we're going to hang out together and find out what that's all about. But, I mean, it really doesn't take any time now to go 1 trillion. And how long did it take us to get to the first 1 trillion? It took us a long time. Yeah. Oh, well, crypto spectacular. You have to be optimistic in this market. I mean, you can't be, bummed out all the time. But, you have to not treat it like a gambling pit either. There is a way that you can play it if you can keep your cool. Okay, good to see XRP is turning around. We have a very large group of people in our crowd who have been holding XRP for a very long time, and they didn't sell it all off when it went to $3 and what was the high? 70 cents? And thanks for the likes, guys. I really appreciate that. And I love hanging out with you guys and giving you an update. I do see, people in full-blown panic when they don't really need to be. I understand if you're no longer able to dollar cost average in, so these drops do not excite you. You're like, nope, I'm ready to go now. These are not exciting to me. Yeah. But you know what? We just had like a really good friend of ours on the channel who got hacked. Actually, she got hacked the same way someone else on the channel got hacked, someone else that I know. And what happens is you get a call from someone who states that they're from Google, and then you get a call from someone else who states they're from Coinbase. And they know like just enough information about you to try to make it believable. Plus you're getting the 2 phone calls, sort of confirming information with one another, but they're actually working together. So I'm happy to tell you guys about that one because we had somebody who had an awful lot of crypto stolen from them. And, they put you in a full-blown panic, and then they get you to give up your seed words. So just know that that is circulating, that is out there, and it's hitting some pretty smart people. So I'm happy to tell you all about it because I don't want those creeps getting your money. I mean, and this person is somebody we've been hanging out since, well, early on. She's one of the OG, you know. So of course I'm gonna think it's fantastic when we cross the finish line together. We have survived cryptos. Oh my gosh. Surviving. That is really the key, isn't it? All right. So let's talk about. Let me just look here. All right. Share. And no, that's not what I want. It's the other one that I want. Sorry, guys. I'm just learning how to use the buttons here. Here we go. So I'm just looking at CoinMarketCap. Sorry, CoinGecko. That's the only one I use. And the reason I do that is just for consistency. That's all. So the first thing I do is I look at the top gainers, because one of the things that came up early on was that it was going to be the meme coins would start running. That would be our altcoin season. And I really do think, coming up on Thanksgiving, that it's time. Yeah, it's time to go past that 4.1 trillion again. So Bitcoin, I don't think we're going to see this lower again. I think if you didn't get it before at 85,000, you're probably not going to be able to get it now. Ethereum, fantastic price on that, $3,000. I mean, wow. When you think about it, what its potential is, the amount of the market share that it has, the level of interest from other, financiers, I guess. There doesn't seem to be enough Ethereum to go around. XRP took quite the hit. So I don't know if anybody's into gathering, maybe you sold some of that at $3.70 and you wanted to play with it a little bit. You guys know that's not my cup of tea, but I don't have a problem when people want to have a little bit of fun in the market. I mean, everyone's got their own thing that they do. 138.92. Yeah, Solana, that's a great price. I think that Solana, once again, I think that in this run coming up, it's going to be one of the big winners. That Dogecoin along with that. So that must mean that Bitcoin will see a big turnaround and go to like 140, 150,000. Yeah. Solana, Doge, and of course Ethereum too. That I think will even cross over the 5,000. So oh, the screen is black. Darn. All right. So I'm going to stop sharing the screen. It's just black. Nothing's going on there. All right. Thanks for sharing that. Well, no point in showing you a black screen. You guys can look along with me on CoinGecko. Chainlink, wow. That's going to be set for a big turnaround as well. That normal spot before the next run will be like 25 bucks. Yeah, there'll be a lot of money flooding into these. I'm surprised to see so many of them. Like, look at Avalanche at $13.90. That'll have a pretty big bounce, just like Sui at $1.54. So I'm thinking about our friend who was fleeced of her cryptos. Well, if it's going to happen to you, let it happen to you now when the market is currently 3.13 trillion and not, 20 trillion. Man, that would be hard to take. Alrighty. Let's see. So do you guys have any questions for me? I'm just trying to look at the chat here and see if there's any new questions. And we have 152 people live. So again, thanks for the likes. I really appreciate that. And happy to hang out with you guys as long as I need to share with you some of my point of view on a few things. Yeah, I like H-bar as well. Ave Medina. That's one of my newer ones. I liked it a while ago and said that it was a later riser. So definitely a survivor. Because somebody had bought a lot of it, and I was like, they were like, would you sell it? And I was like, no, not really. I mean, it's a late riser though, so just set it aside. Sorry, guys. I didn't be coughing into the microphone. You know what's probably happening is my cold medicine is probably wearing off. Yeah, talk about timing. Because now when I think about it, when I took it last. Anyways, it's okay. I'll make it through. Oh, we got someone from New Jersey in the house. How's the weather up there? My healing. Oh, so Nick just wants to know what happened to Moo. Moo was a volunteer, and he's moved on. We just changed our format. So I do a What's Trending twice a week now for Psychic Nerds and everybody on the channel, and we just combined the Psychic Nerd server with the Samantha Jane James server. So everybody's all on the one server now. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, no, I knew what you meant. Yeah. Oh, Simple Simon. Yeah, the tracking, stolen crypto. I'm sure that they have something that they can track wallets, Simple Simon. That's why it's really super important that when you do have your crypto stolen from you, listen, even if it's because you gave up your seed word, it doesn't matter. They were impersonating Coinbase. Just like when the people call and they impersonate the bank and they get you upset about certain things, thinking that your account's being compromised and that you have to move quickly or you're going to lose all your money. So yeah, there is a way for them to watch it. And for some people, they'll put a report in and they won't get a phone call for like 8 years. And then after 8 years, a portion of their money will get recovered. I know it almost seems too good to be true. Let's see. Well, 3i Atlas drive-by on December 19th coincide with UFO sightings that occur over the ocean in December. And which ocean? Oh, yeah, William Thomas Penn. You remember that? Yes. People were just asking what was going to be a standout thing, like non-crypto related between now and the end of the year. And I said, there's going to be some like serious or undeniable proof of alien life in December, like seen from all over the world. And I didn't remember that it included crafts over the ocean, but William Thomas Penn may remember better than I did about that blab. And then, of course, that was before 3 Atlas was spotted. Oh, thanks for your kind words. WTF 354. And I am feeling better, even though I do have, well, I know you're just tuning in, but if you were here earlier, there was some coughing and sneezing going on. Yeah. And just have my nice hot cup of tea. I picked up some flowers today. You guys can probably see them here. I would have to practice a bit if I was going to be like the weather person. All right. So Nick wants to ask me about Michael Saylor and whether he's a good actor. You've bought shares in MicroStrategy. Well, I mean, I don't know about him being a good actor. He certainly is believes very strongly in what he believes in. Did you guys notice that Michael Burry, that he closed his company? What was it called? Do you remember the name of it? The one that Michael Burry had? And he was predicting like this terrible market crash, but he predicted it a little while ago. So you can really, drive yourself into the dirt when you can be wrong for such a length of time, right? Yes, Lily, I do expect DOT to survive. I do expect actually most of the stuff that's in the top 100 and beyond. I mean, it is very early days, and what'll happen with a lot of it is that people will buy a crypto just because it's a cryptocurrency. They won't know what it does. Maybe it doesn't even do anything yet, but it's a cryptocurrency and it's been around for X number of years. Because a lot of people will want to stay away from the brand new ones that are just being the new startups. Whereas something that has like a 24-hour volume of 80 million or 100 million, that's definitely seems to be more solid. Michael Burry is a troll. I don't know too much about him. All I know is I saw he was closing up shop, and I only had one blab about him, and that was that he was wrong. I said, he did have a very good hit with the housing market crash of 2008. And that was the one that movie, The Big Short, was made about. So, yeah, great hit and everything, but that doesn't mean that, he's a brilliant soothsayer for the future. And I think that maybe he thought he was going to be right for sure. And then it ended up that he wasn't. Yeah. And where do I see gold and silver? Well, gold in the shorter term, definitely going past the 5,000 by the end of the year. And that was a while ago in the blab. So we could be on track for that. A big selling, a big season for gold. Silver, a little bit not as shiny as gold, I guess. But into next year, as it becomes clear that there is a shortage of gold, then people will become desperate for silver, and they will begin to buy up silver more. Like they're buying it now. It's just that it'll be moving a little bit quicker. So gold, in the sort of medium term, that was in the 10 to 12,000, and then the long term was like 40,000. So, like maybe another 5 to 10 years from now, it'll be 40,000. But in the medium term, 10 to 12 is not a crazy number for gold. So, you can keep dollar cost averaging into it if you are looking for a place to put your money. This is the problem is moving it. The future of the United Kingdom, it's not going to be great because so many changes need to be made and there's so many problems that are had. So the best that can be done for the United Kingdom is to have it stabilized. Yeah, stabilized so that it doesn't go completely to ruin. And that's where Nigel Farage is going to come in, where I at least felt positive about him becoming the prime minister when Donald Trump was the president. And through that friendship, things would be less worse for the United Kingdom. So that, just by virtue of the blab, where I said that Nigel Farage would be the prime minister, but Donald Trump would be the president of the United States. I mean, there is a limited time window there, right? That this needs to happen. So yeah. So that's the deal for the United Kingdom. But again, the relationship that he has keeps it, that Nigel Farage has, keeps it from going to ruin. And I think the Mandami and Trump meetup went wonderfully for Trump. It just goes to show you that Trump can work with anybody. And, and he's leading with a very, a mature, with the right foot of a mature statesperson. Because, he's going with the attitude of, I grew up in New York, I love New York. He's reminding people that he does have a personal stake in the city of New York. And everybody would be like, oh, yeah, that's right. And so they believe him when he says it's true. And Mandami, by the time I think he left the Oval Office, he looked like he worked for Trump. Totally changed his attitude. Trump even had fun with Mandami calling him a fascist and now having to stand there in the Oval Office with someone from the press asking that. And he kind of, I wasn't lost on him, like tapping him on the shoulder or reassuring him. I was like, oh yeah, he's the boss, man. He is the boss. He's handling everything. So that's what I think about that. Thanks for that great question. Someone wants to know about XYO. Everybody knows I love XYO. It's one of my little flyers. Yeah. My Doge 2.0. It's a little flyer. So yeah, it's when in the future that I saw doing well that, again, you never want to back up the truck on these things because you can buy it and then it can go down 10 times before it does any big run in the future that's made it noticeable. Yeah. Someone wants to know about Netanyahu being arrested. No, there's no arrest coming up for Netanyahu. So Michelle Mitchell wants to know about XYO in the next run. I can't see why it wouldn't hit its all-time high. I think most of them will at that point. Like I said, I don't really think that we can go wrong with most of them. You guys know what my faves are. I talk about them all the time. All right. Oh, someone wants to know if crypto is going to be tax-free in Australia, and I'm like, nope. I don't see that actually ever happening. For most places, I see them coming along and making cryptos tax-free, especially in Europe. They're going to be in hot competition with one another for people to go there and spend their money. But yeah, Australia will deem it not necessary. And my healing, I didn't really finish answering your question about silver prices for the upcoming year. I mostly saw silver for $150, but I think that's more in the medium term. And I do see VeChain. It is a survivor, probably like in the single dollars down the road, like a lot of them that are survivors. There's going to be, worldwide adoption of cryptos. I mean, think about it right now, how most people don't even know how to operate a wallet. They don't even know most people say to me, I don't even know how to get cryptos. Like, really, that's what everyone says. I don't know how to get them. So you have to keep reminding yourself how early you are, right? And early does beat capital. Um, And Nick Singh wants to know, other crypto psychics do you follow or recommend? I don't follow any other crypto psychics. In fact, for the most part, it's usually wrong and bad to be doing any type of gambling or, just like choosing the horses. And if you looked into Edgar Casey, when I looked into it, I was not surprised to hear that when he was in his sleeping state, because he would have to get himself into a trance, right? I always say that I was like Edgar Casey, but without the nap. So, but sometimes you notice that I'm swaying a little bit and stuff. That's because I can feel the energy flowing through me. I just sort of get into the groove, and it starts to happen, and I start to do like really well with my predictions. But the unfortunate thing about Edgar Casey in his early days, when it wasn't being supervised, is people used to utilize his gifts and abilities to find out which one of the horses were going to win. And he would get like deathly ill when people were using his gifts to manipulate or bring money their way. And I asked like so many times, like, well, why should I be able to see like the story of cryptos? And I was just told that blockchain was going to change the world, and that it was just an important part of the Great Awakening. Because a big part of the Great Awakening is putting all of the corruption under, so therefore I wouldn't be able to like see what the backside of the wave is and things like and that would be built in self-protection. When you think about it, you wouldn't really want to be somebody who could, make every single call about everything. I mean, I've had some spooky calls like about some Super Bowl wins, things like that. But again, I don't do that on a regular, and I don't make a big deal out of it just because, again, gamblers are crazy, right? So there's a lot of self-protection built into that. But, the story of cryptos came true, especially, I mean, I just look at the blab I was having on Doge, the Department of Government Efficiency, but I thought it was the Doge coin. And I'm describing the Department of Government Efficiency like 5 years before, 6 years before it was even thought about. Yeah, I know. Crazy. Um, So a junior wants to know if I think Theta will pass its all-time high and Digibyte in the coming weeks. No to both of those in the coming weeks as far as timing goes. So, like I said, my timing isn't great, but I can still get some depth perception on what's going to happen first and when. Now, Theta, the highest I see it going again is around $10. So I think the last time was its all-time high at almost 15. Um, yeah, so that's what I think. And question everything is bringing up about Comey's charges were dismissed by a judge. And do I think he'll be recharged? Yes, I do. I do think that he'll be recharged. I was just going back here to Junior's question about Digibyte. I do that one of the blabs from a long time ago was that with Digibyte, that if you held it, that you wouldn't be able to hold it till the end because millionaires would be made all around you. So you would sell it before it turned into anything big. Because again, the market would have run enough with other cryptos that people would have been made millionaires. And we've already seen that come true since I had that blab back in 2019. And, I don't tell people what to do because that's not my thing. I mean, I run a crypto hobby channel. We share ideas together. And, people want to know my opinion, just like I want to know their opinion about things. But I have a hard enough time managing my own crypto portfolio. I certainly can't get into managing other people's crypto portfolio. But, there's sometimes some things to me that are, fairly obvious what's, up and coming. And so I don't mind, staying on top of certain things, with with the crew. We all work hard together to make sure that we can pass the finish line together. But one of the things I did tell people was my knowing about Digibyte, that it would be a later riser and to not like hold a large percentage of your portfolio in it, and so a lot of people listened. Like they had millions of Digibyte, and so they sold it and they put it into other things that ended up doing a significant multiple. So everything all worked out. But you know what? We're still chugging along. It's a long way to 100 trillion. And I mean, Digibyte, I thought that it would be like around something like $7, but I don't always get all the zeros. So that's why I always say to people, don't hesitate to take a big chunk out when it's like 70 cents even. Right. And some people are already got a nice multiple going on, if it even went to 7 cents, just because if they got it at, half a penny, it's already 14 times their money at 7 cents. So, I mean, they would take a chunk of something. But you see my point about it, right? Is that, at 70 cents, you would probably take out a good chunk of it because you're like, wow, that really came from nowhere and now it's worth all of this money. And then you just let other people benefit from it. But a person could look at Digibyte and say, well, that's the same as Bitcoin. So why can't it be, used the same as Bitcoin? And then you'll get all these people who are, big fans of Digibyte. And then all of a sudden, before you know it, Digibyte starts climbing because it's the same number as Bitcoin. There's a lot of people who missed out on Bitcoin. So at that point, it just becomes a what is it? A popularity contest. I was thinking it's not personality. It's a popularity contest. Yeah. Oh, Melanie is informing the Canadians that you guys can hold a cryptos in an exchange traded fund in a tax-free retirement savings account. So some people, Shar is saying that silver will be 1-to-1 with gold. And it's not really possible, Shar, because it has a lot to do with supply and demand. And silver is actually a lot of times what you get as a residual from mining other things. I think copper is one of them. I'm not sure. I mean, other people here probably know more than I do. But the amount of silver that is available to humanity is many times more than what gold is. So just from a mathematical point of view, it's not possible. But what I do see happening is that silver is going to be more in demand for what it can be used for. Inventions. One of them is a battery type of thing, right? Battery life. So it's infused. It has a lot of silver in it, so that in itself it makes it last longer. It's a better battery. And the other one is a mode of transportation that has a lot of silver in it. I think it must use magnets. Yeah. So if all of a sudden the amount of silver that's required, goes through the roof, well, then of course the price of it's going to go up. But it's not going to be 1-to-1 with gold. I mean, when you think about it, silver's like what, $50 to $55, and gold is like around 4,000 to 4,300. So there's a pretty significant difference between what you pay for one and what you pay for the other. And there might be a little bit of catching up. I do think that there is going to be some of the gap is going to be closed in because it's a pretty wide gap right now. But it's not going to be like what the experts are saying. Like when you think about like the most obvious answer, you're like, yeah, Sam's right. The 1-to-1 won't match because there's so much more silver being produced. They would have to have something that was just gobbling up all of the silver right away in order for you to have it even, half, to gold. So for every 4,000 gold, silver is 2,000. But I can't see that happening. So I think they're going to reapply those charges for Comey, though. More and more stuff is coming out. Yeah. And I think Nileesh, that Bitcoin has bottomed out already. So yeah, it's pretty much just up from here. Our Tau, Quant, Aave market survivors. Now, I don't know about Tau, if that's a market survivor or not, but I know Quant and Aave. Thank you for that question, Aave Medina. Okay. There we go. I was losing power, and I was trying to figure out how. So it was the other connection. All right. Well, we can't have me losing power, because then I can't read the chat. And again, thanks for the likes, you guys. Oh, we're already up to 41 minutes. So any more questions? Oh, any rise for Shiba Inu? You know what? I was never a fan of SHIB. I know so many. So there's so many out there to love, isn't there? But with SHIB, nope. I had never had any love for SHIB. I love H bar. I think that has a really good multiple. Very, very nice multiple. Yeah, that's going to be pretty sweet to watch when it happens. Do I think Doge will hit $1 by next spring? Oh my gosh, I have Doge to $1 fatigue. I'll tell you for sure. Oh my gosh. I thought it was already going to be at $1. I don't think we have to wait till next spring. Yeah. Yeah, I'm expecting things to break loose pretty soon. Flare, that was another one that I was even, I was too lazy to move my XRP over for the snapshot and get any flare because I was like, meh. Wasn't a big fan. There were other people who loved the technology, thought it was really great, and I was like, well, hey, it's free, so it's not crazy to get excited about it, especially if you got it for free. There's a lot of people who got stuff for free and made out like bandits, like Uniswap. Some of you did really well on Uniswap. Thank you. Ibufos. Oh. You can tell that my head is all stuffed up. I didn't take that medicine before I went live. I'll have to take it after. I'm probably going straight to bed soon after. Let's see. Someone's asking about let's see. Just trying to scroll back a bit here. All right, that's should be in here. Let's see. When will XRP top and at what price? I think it'll be in this Christmas. It'll be in December. It's not that far away. Because, when things move, they move quickly. It'll top in the next run. And I'm expecting that we'll see it starting like between now and Thanksgiving. Yeah, I'm very bullish. And it's not the cold medicine that's saying that. Samantha Jane, will these tops this time last for days, or are they flash tops? I'm not fast on selling. Yeah, you and me both, mister. Yeah, there's still, like I said, for what was it, the beginning of 2025, that I said that the swings were going to be even wider. Yeah. They were like, are things going to calm down? No, they're going to get worse. The swings are going to be more. Yeah. And you can pretty much see that. The swing from top to bottom. Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, it was over $1 trillion on this one, if you count the top at 4.4 trillion. And then the bottom at, I think, 2.9 on CoinGecko. It was only like that for a day or two. I wasn't really watching closely, but I heard it was that much. I think I saw it at It was like 2.9 during one of my live streams. It was like 2.93 or 99. Anyways, I saw the 2 there. And I was like, oh, things are getting scary for people, I'm sure, but I'm not worried. It's just for a short time. But yeah, the tops will be flash tops. I guess you can call them that. Oh yeah, Doge. Yeah. Ave Medina, you are correct about Doge. Now, I felt that that would do well at more towards the end of the year when X launches. I did feel like a few months ago that X would launch before the end of the year. And that would make all the difference. Here, I just have to mute myself again for a second. I got to blow my nose. Sorry about that, guys. I'm not going to take the camera off because sometimes that gives me a problem. And thanks again for the likes. I'm just trying to zip through the questions here. Thoughts on Marjorie Taylor Greene's resignation? I think it's a good idea. I think things are a bit much for her. Yeah, she didn't handle things well at all. It's hard for somebody to move forward when you feel like, the president of the United States is against you. But I think what happened is what one of the other members said what happened was that she was just shown a poll that she wasn't doing well and that she shouldn't run. Because, of course, if you want the president's support, you also have to be polling so that you're most likely to win. So, anyways, I think that's what all that upset was about. And it was a shame because it's just, it takes a lot of energy out of what's going on. And there's so much that needs to be done even before the end of the year. I'm really hoping to get some good news about Russia and the Ukraine shortly. Sui, I like both. Sui and Deep Book for the shorter term. Yeah, Deep Book for the shorter term. Sui for the longer term. Yeah. And which one will give the most lovely rise between now and July? I'm going to say Solana because I'm sticking with the top ones, of course, right? Because there'll be a lot of ones that are deep down in the basement that we've never even heard of that go like 1,000 times or whatever. But as far as being ones that, most people hold. Oh, yes. And Chet missed the blab earlier about the flare. So you can get that on the replay, maybe, Chet. Yeah. And I do actually have some green tea, Sadie. This one here was a bit of a different brand. It was a new one. It has cinnamon in it. I got it at the I just got it at the grocery store. It smells great. I think this has, I would say it has lemon in it as well. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm Medina. Taking profits in August and dollar cost average down. Yeah. Yeah, it's tough when you play the market to count on it for cash, because it doesn't matter when you need cash. It's going to do what it's going to do, right? So this is a good question from Jeremy. He wants to know when I see silver vessels being sold, not just the coins, at what price? Yeah, when people start going through their collections at home, or asking Nana and Papa if they have any real silver in their house. because it's going for a pretty penny. It's getting melted down. I'm going to say like 3 years from now. And that'll be mostly just confined to one area of the world, like maybe in Europe. Yeah. When people are looking for ways to get some money from common everyday items. Oh, you want to know about the price? Oh, no, Chad, I don't think there's going to be any rise with Flare. I really didn't get much about it at all. That's why I didn't bother getting any for myself with my XRP. I just had to move it around and I was like, nope. I know what my XRP is going to be worth in the future. I'm not moving it around, taking a chance. Especially for something that I wasn't seeing anything much of a future for. So, but other people were excited about it. And I was like, okay, well, I don't have like a perfect 100% track record. So, be excited. But I don't have a price for Flare. I wish I did. Sorry, I can't help you on that one. I'm pretty good with other stuff, though. Let's see. Metal, total mined historically, silver. 1.7 million metric tons of gold. And the gold is 210,000 metric tons. Yeah, so mathematically, you can see with silver, 5, 6, 7, almost 8 times more silver is mined. So I think that the math right now is really out of whack. I do think that the price is going to come closer, but not what people are telling you, like the 1-to-1 thing. No. What did I say? Like 1 to 17? Yeah. Something like that. Now, I don't have a timeline on that, but I mean, I see it coming at one point. But it's always a good thing to have in your portfolio, have some precious metals. The only time it works against you is if you are leaving a country. Then you have to figure out how to get all your precious metals moved, or if you can find somebody there to give you the per ounce price and then someone on the other side who's going to sell it, let you buy. Nice to see you, Maria. Sure, you can ask a question. Yes, of course, with silver, we'd be happy if it was 40-to-1, wouldn't we? What do I see gold going to be in the fall of 2026? Oh, hi, nice to see you, Barton. 2026. The fall of 2026. I think we could be up to 10,000 by then, Barton. Yeah, I think gold's going to continue to move. Which ones for 2000? You know what? Anything and any of my faves in the top 10. Like I'd be grabbing, if you want to get Ethereum or Bitcoin, Solana and Doge. Sui got beat up pretty bad, and so did Chainlink. The usual regular ones. You don't even have to go that deep into the crypto market. And, just pick 5 of them. You don't have to have like too many. Yeah, most of us get into trouble having too many. Yes, I saw Bill Deisher. I did see the 6 Congress people. The ones that are in the biggest trouble are the military ones, the ones that are from a military background. Yeah, they can be treated differently. I think there's at least 2 of them. Because when I saw that and heard about it, I'm from a military family. And even though I'm not American, we take our military seriously where I'm from as well. And I almost died when I heard them talking like that. I was like, who talked you guys into doing that? Oh my gosh, they are so not going to be around when you get in trouble. Yeah. Oh, Maria wants to know if Philip and her are going to be a couple again in 2026. I do, but you know what, Maria? I think that those are only short-term things. I do see like that he's going to come back to you twice, but neither time things are going to work out. So, whatever you do, don't get pregnant. That's all I say about that. Yeah, be careful. Yeah. So obviously there's a strong bond there, but it's just not meant to be. But you will get back together twice. Yeah. You don't have to listen to me. Just go through the motions of it. But know that in the long term, your man is out there and everything's going to be okay. So when that comes true, then know the other stuff is true as well. That's what I would tell people. Just remember everything's going to be okay. Oh, thank you, Batman. Yes, I'm feeling good. Zcash due to its privacy machines. Yeah, I don't know if Zcash will survive like for the long time. Oh, I'm sorry, Maria. You guys were 9 years together. Yeah, that must be why he has such a strong pull to come back to you. You know. Yeah. Yes, 9 years is a long time, Maria. I can't even imagine. But you know what? You're only 33, so you have a good life ahead of you. But don't spend too much time crying. It's different than when you're 23, right? Um, are we topping the mark? No, no. It was like April. I felt like whatever started now, which I thought was going to start back in September, October, not in November, was going to keep going to April with the crypto market. So I'm just late. That's all. Not wrong, just late. It's okay. Oh, is Bob going to move on? Yes, Patricia. He is going to move on. It's just tired. He's lonely. That's all. There's a reason he lives with people. Let's see. China has a massive military now. Any chance the USA will stop them? Well, they won't have to. I mean, China and the US will never go to war. Like, who are they going to sell all their stuff to? I mean, economically, they need the United States, and the US needs them. Nope, John made it. Will there be an end to the 4 years, the cycle, this bull market? Will there be an end? I don't think so. I think this one will keep going just because of special circumstances with the change in the financial system, that it's going to be changing for good. So you're going to have all of this money going into the cryptocurrency markets. That's where I get the 100 trillion from. Let's see. What do I think about the job market? And are you in the United States? Because I'm thinking you got to move the state that you're in. Haran. Yeah. I'm just grabbing the last part of your name there, Haran. Because as much as I'm wearing glasses, I'm still old. So, and I do have the chat up here on another screen that I'm looking at, which is bigger. Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad I could share some good news with you guys. I don't think that the market's going to top in December, you guys. I think that it is going to keep going. And if there is a little bit of a pullback, it'll just be with a couple of different coins. Yeah. I mean, definitely take profits, because remember that they're going to keep popping like this, and there's no rhyme or reason. I mean, there'll be stuff that won't move at all between now and January, and then just all of a sudden they'll start going like a house on fire between January and March. And the stuff that was, just going like a house on fire between, like, let's say now and, the end of December won't do anything at all. So, you know, again, it's hard to know. It's hard to know which ones are going to go. So you just got to sort of you just have to set your own schedule, I guess, and it depends on when you buy it. Because people are like, oh, do you think I should sell, my link? And I'm like, well, what price did you pay for it? And, where are you at with your investments? Like, what do you think you should do? You said that you want to stay in the crypto market. Is there something else that you would like to buy with it? Or, did you, oh, wow, yeah, you've made like 10 times profits. You should probably either sell a part of it or, if not all of it, and, then set it in cash and maybe make another choice later on. That would be my suggestion to somebody if they're already 10 times on something. But a lot of times on some of the coins, people would keep them for like the longer term, which is great as well. Because, how many people are regretting that they sold something off and now it's worth a lot more than it was? Yeah. So, Maria, there's a family in your future. It's just you can't let your ex-boyfriend take any more of your best years, right? That's the problem. A lot of women, we waste 9 years with some guy who didn't put a ring on it, and he's taken all your best years from you. And now you got to get out there, and now you got to hustle because you're 33. But you can do it. Don't worry. You'll be okay. Just like I said, just don't let him keep wasting your time. Yeah. Do what you got to do, girlfriend. Like go jogging every day if you have to. What do you call them? The endomorphins? Those get you set up. Okay, so you're around, you're in the US. Okay, so you're probably going to have to look at moving states, right? You're going to have to expand your horizons there, buddy. So look at the states where things are moving and shaking. Because, that's the beautiful thing about being in America is you don't even have to change the country you're in. You just have to change the area that you're in. And right now, a lot of the blue states are struggling. But eventually, the golden age, it's going to bring everybody up. Everybody's going to do great. And I'm happy about that because I know that the American president, he wants to see everybody doing well. Yeah. Okay. Okay, guys. Well, oh, Libby. Oh, your mother, mid 80s, not well, refuses to go to the doctor. Yeah. Is this a slippery slope to the end for her? Well, I think she's going to take a lot longer than you think, Libby. Is that good news? Your mom's going to take a lot longer? But yeah, it's hard when they're fussy like that and won't go to the doctor. My mom, she was refusing to go to. We weren't even suggesting a nursing home. We were just the what do you call it? Extended. I forget what you call it. The extended living. Assisted living. That's what they call it. So they don't have anything like an oven in there. Like you can boil a kettle or something like that, and you have a microwave, but there's no like cooking in the rooms. And you pay extra every month because they cook your meals for you and stuff. But yeah, she was refusing to even go into that. And there's nothing you can do about it. They're stubborn. You just got to let people do what they want to do. And then you just, respect it and hope that nothing happens to them. Now, I mean, she almost died I told her that she would have died if her brother hadn't happened to be with her when she fainted. She didn't know she was in renal failure. So she would have just died and nobody would have known until after she passed away, you know? So it could have been a really sad story. So that's the chance that they take. But you can't do anything about that. You have to respect, when people, you cannot, if they're not to the point that you can take things over, then you have to let them make a decision. And, Medina, will mom be cured from a cyst in her throat, 2 surgeries, and they want to do it again because it keeps reappearing? I think this one is going to be successful. Well, what's happening is the reason it's reappearing is they're not getting all of it. So the cyst just grows. That's why it keeps coming back. So it's not really reappearing. It's just the small piece that they're leaving behind. So yeah, third time's going to be a charm. Don't worry, she'll be okay. Oh, thanks, Crypto Squirrel. Yes, hit that like button. I've got 138 likes so far. Thanks so much, guys. I really appreciate it. Yes, I know you're saying that you wish that Australia had a prime minister like the Americans had a president. But, you have to remember that, Trump is setting an example for the other world leaders. And now they will not follow in his footsteps because it's not possible for them. They just don't have the abilities. But the people see that this is possible, and this is what they're going to demand in most places. Yeah. Oh, Maria, why find doctor removed the lump in my forehead? I got a small lump a year ago. Yep. I think you'll find somebody looking after you, Maria. Don't worry about it. And how high do I see the price of Doge going until next spring? I think that when the X platform launches at the end of the year, that's when we'll see some big movements in Doge. And for the long term, I saw Doge at like $8. Let's see, when are the volcanoes going live? I'm estimating in April of 2027. But I mean, it's volcanoes, right? The main things are the warning signs, and one of them was that there would be a 5.1 at Camp Flagré before it explodes. So people will be able to get at least a few hours notice there. But yeah, it seems to me that there's a lot of activity going on at Camp Flagré, like a lot. And it almost seems like it can't even wait until next year that it will happen. But you have to remember that when you're talking about volcanic, movements, it takes a long time before you get stuff like that starting to erupt and explode. And then, of course, it's going to affect the other ones, like Mount Vesuvius is another one that I think it's going to take with it. But yeah, I thought we had some into 2027 at least. All right. Yes, and a previously dormant volcano in Ethiopia erupted today, Simple Simon reports. Yeah. Yeah, it's the Ring of Fire is waking up. Yeah, the earth is growing and changing. So, Batman, you want to know about your daughter's hair loss? Well, how old is your daughter? Is she like in her 40s? Batman? Just sometimes I got to do a little bit of back and forth with people. Let's see what else is going on in the world. Oh, I see. I'm seeing on MSN the I'm worried about Barron. I mean, it's almost like it's so ridiculous. You know, on X, they were talking about how Trump is walking all pigeon-toed and trying to, say that he has dementia and all that stuff. And I pointed out to them that I thought before that they thought he was dead when he hadn't shown up for like a day. So 30 years old. Okay. So I didn't think she was a young person. I think Batman that her hair loss is a combination of hormonal, but she also is having anxiety, like to the point that her hair is falling out. Like she's not getting the right uh, vitamins and minerals, I guess. She's not eating properly. Yeah. So I think that her going to see, rather than looking for particular medicine, she should probably go to a naturopath. I think that they'll be able to help her out. Yeah. Mammy, the highest XRP price. Sorry, it's only in 5 years. It's only $10 to $12. That's the highest I've ever seen it. Yeah. Oh yeah, I hear you, Peter. You can't even watch TV anymore. I know. I was watching the Canadian news, and it's unbelievable. I was like, I cannot believe how these people have been sucked in so badly. Ugh. Let's see. Oh, and Rockpool. No, I don't see any cyber attacks happening. And crypto in the future, I think that we're going to 100 trillion. And I don't think it's going to take us much past February 23rd of 2029. And the reason why I picked that date was because of some things that happened in the past that, well, the Sam Jammers know what they are, that it sort of correlated the math to see when we're going to be out of this craziness. Yeah. Oh, Maria, you have nervous energy because you have hair loss because you have nervous energy, very similar to Batman's daughter. And you're similar in age too. Like you're only young, you're only 33. So yeah, you have that nervous energy. And then that correlated with the hormones for your age and then diet. Yeah, no, naturopath can probably help you out. Oh, will Etna blow as well? Yes, that's there'll be a number of volcanoes exploding. It's just that the reason why Camp A Flagree was a standout to me was because it kills the most people. Where you have 500,000 people, like basically living on top of the caldera. Isn't that funny, Peter, that you are from Canada? And I would bring up Canada. Yeah. Yeah, so you and I have been watching the Canadian news together, probably up there in the ethos, and we're both going, this is just retarded. Yeah. You want me to talk about Bitcoin's future? You know what? I thought that 85,000 was going to be our best game for Bitcoin, with it maybe being up 100,000 for a bit. And then when it went past it, and it went past it more, yeah, and it was funny in the blab, even one of the Sam Jammers told me that I nailed his sell-off price, which I think was 127. So anyways, I mean, I was never anti-Bitcoin or anything like that. It's just that, you see other ones that will continue to grow and get bigger. And then this one, just stays at like 85,000. But now that it's pulled back and yeah, now that it's pulled back to that, I'm like, oh, okay, well that could end up going to like 140, 150,000. Yeah. And I agree, Star Atlas to the moon. I agree with that. I knew it was going to be a while for it. But and oh, you want to know about USDT? I think USDC is safe for the long term, and USDT, I didn't feel like we would have any problems with it until later on, when the market was much bigger than it is now. All right. So I hope I have been helpful with everybody tonight, and thanks again for hanging out. And I do have an all members, which is for free tomorrow. So it'll be tomorrow around the afternoon time. And I will see you guys in. Let me just show you my. Oh, it looks pretty busy in here. The Discord. So that is what's behind the paywall over on Patreon. Everybody gets into the Discord room, which where I hang out with on a regular basis. And tomorrow I have the all members. So all of my Patreon members, including, because sometimes people just throw in like $5 or $10 a month. Maybe they, used to be a supporter where they would be in the tiers watching the videos, and then they go and they're not watching the videos anymore, but they just lower it and just throw in like $10, $15 a month or something. So I have something there for everybody who signs up as a free member. And then a lot of times people do bump up from the free members to one of the paying tiers because they've seen enough samples. They're like, hey, it looks like they're having some fun in the Sam Jam. And I do have different tiers to meet with all of your different Sam Jam needs. So I hope to see a few of you over there, especially for the free members. So just take a look in the chat. It's Sam Jam, or what is it? Let me just put it in here. www.patreon.com Sam Jam. There we go. I just put it in. So you guys didn't do that. And also check out my X, which is Predictions by SJ. That's Predictions by SJ. And so you can also see me emoting occasionally on the X platform. All right, guys. Bye for now.